welcome to my workbench. Today I'm going to start assembling the optical compressor project that I have been planning for some time. And you can see that I have my circuit board in and received all the parts. I have all of those laid out. I have resistors here, I have capacitors here, I have the film capacitors located here, and then I have a box of hardware, the connectors and the switches and the audio jacks and stuff like that. The enclosure I have up there, and that'll all come later. But today I'm going to start populating the circuit board, and I always start with the resistors. We'll start with the resistors, get all the resistors put in, and so I like to start with the smallest components first, and I move up to the larger components last. So I'll be doing the resistors today, and hopefully I'll probably get to the capacitors as well as some of the other components as well. Don't know that I'll quite get finished with the entire board, but should be able to make some really good headway. So I was going to show you how I populate the resistors. I start out with, I've already got some of them in. I've got 4 placed already, and I thought, well, I'll go ahead and shoot this video and show you guys what I'm doing. And what I normally do is I'll start with a resistor. This is a pressure resistor, new resistor right out of the pack. And what I will do is I have to figure out, what the dimensions of this resistor will need to be, or how to fold the legs over so that it'll fit properly in the board. Now I've already done these resistors, and you can see here that I have the resistors pre-bent. I did that a while ago, so they are actually ready to go right into the board. And when they do, they'll just fit right in as so. And then you just push them all the way down. And then on the back side, you can see the legs sticking out there. So to find out how to bend the legs, they do make a neat little tool. I do not have one. I've never had one actually, but they make a tool for laying the resistor in the little tool, and then you can bend the legs at the proper length that you need. But I've never been fortunate enough to afford one of those little $1 or $2 tools, so I've just always done it by guesstimating. And what I do is I take the resistor and I will lay it down where it needs to go and get an idea of how far the holes are spread out or spaced out from the body of the resistor. And then I will know, I just guesstimate or visually look at it, and you can measure it if you want. I could pull out my ruler and I could measure the spacing of the holes and do it that way, but I'm not that precise, and this has always worked for me. And so I'll just guesstimate how far the bend needs to be from the body of resistor on both sides, and then I'll take some needle nose pliers as such, and then I'll just grab it at the right place, and then I will bend it over just like that. I put a 90-degree bend in the leg, and then I do the other side. I actually don't need this resistor, so I'm going to undo that and just lay it back over here. And then once they're bent, like I said, I just go ahead and place it in the board. And then I'll go ahead and do this one. I'll place it in, and the direction that resistors have to go in really doesn't matter, not electrically speaking, but visually I like all of my resistors to look consistently placed, so I make sure that my color bands match from one to the next. That just could be an OCD thing, but I do like my boards to look neat. So there I have that resistor put in. It's pressed all the way down. Then on the back side, I'm going to take my legs and spread them out of the resistor at about a 45-degree angle, something like that. I see some people that bend them all the way over where they lay flat on the board. I don't like that. I don't like them to bend that far. And then you can see as such. Now you have to be careful that now that I've done that, I just can't lay the board back down like I did. So I just simply turn it upside down and lay it as such. And now I can come in. Let me make sure I did put that in the right place. Pretty sure I did. Yes, that looks fine. And then I come in, grab my soldering iron here. This one heats up pretty quick, stays in standby mode when the handpiece is in the cradle. And it's already heated up and ready. So then I'll take some solder here and solder this resistor into place. Soldering is a learned skill that usually takes time to master. And of course, I've been doing this for years and years, and sometimes I'm still not good enough at it for me. But you do it a lot, you get better at it. And so now that resistor is soldered into place. And now I just take some diagonal cutters or little snips, and just as close as I can, I will snip off the excess legs and toss them into my little ice tray over here. And so that resistor is finished. That's been installed. So then I continue on with that process. Make sure that the resistors are located in the proper place on the board. This board is really nice because all of the locations have the designators and labeled on the board, and also all the values for the resistor are on the board as well. But I do check that information with the bill of materials. I also have the schematic located over here as well. And so I like to verify everything is correct, no mistakes have been made. Another good thing to do, and I haven't done it here, at least I haven't demonstrated that, is, and I haven't run into this problem in a long time, but it's a good idea to take your new resistors and measure them and make sure that they are the value that they're supposed to be. And normally, that's not going to be an issue. You're not normally going to have a new resistor that is bad, especially not with the quality control that we have today. But more than likely, what's going to happen is if you don't do that, you're probably going to accidentally, or there's a good chance that you could accidentally put the wrong color or the wrong value resistor in. You misread the colors. And so if you measure each resistor as you're putting them in, if you happen to grab a resistor with the wrong color bands by accident, then measuring it, you will catch it, because you'll say, okay, well, this should have been a 220K and I've got a 22K. It's measuring 22K. So then you can look at the color bands under a magnifying glass if you need it, like me, and then you can determine that, oh, I got the wrong resistor. It's much harder after the fact to take a resistor out that you've got soldered in. You also run the risk of damaging the board, so you don't want to go there. You want to make sure that the resistors that you have put in are the right value and they're in the right place. So that's about sums it up for what I'll be doing for the next couple of hours. I'll be populating the resistors on this board, and then, like I said, after I finish the resistors, I'll move to the capacitors, and then before you know it, this whole board will be populated. And I'll give you an update as the project goes along. So appreciate it. This is going to be a really fun project, and the end product is just going to be awesome. Can't wait for you guys to see it, not only see it, but to actually hear the results of it. So I appreciate it. Thanks.